Up next, it's Ben. Ben, what have you got for us tonight?
Right, this is going to be short and sweet. The nation breathed a sigh of relief yesterday as Shamima Begum's court bid to return to the UK after having her citizenship stripped was dismissed. Thank God for the Court of Appeal judges. Well done. As a reminder, Shamima Begum, she was the ISIS bride. She ran off to Syria in 2015 with her schoolmates, decided to join the terrorist death cult who, if you don't remember, burned people alive in cages, stoned women and children, behaved in the most barbaric way. Shamima had her citizenship stripped. She's now languishing in a Syrian refugee camp. But my point is, she's now going to go with her Golden Goose lawyers to the Supreme Court to try and overturn that Court of Appeal decision bid yesterday. And do you know who's going to pay for it? Me and you. Up to £5 million worth of legal aid is going to be spent if it reaches the Supreme Court, and even more if it goes to the European courts as well. I say she is a British traitor. She's no longer technically British. We should not be paying a penny more of her legal aid when there's so much money needed and better causes here back in the UK. Benjamin, do you agree we should rid our hands of Shamima? No more legal aid. She needs to stay in that refugee camp in Syria and spend the rest of her days there.
No, I don't, because although the price is high in terms of the cost of legal aid for a case going on this long, that is the price of a democracy and a functioning justice system to which we should all want to belong.
She's had justice.
Because you don't know if you might end up in a situation where you can't afford to fight a case where there is a human rights question.
I'm sorry.
And the truth is that it's not a judgment to say that what she has done is right. What she's done is very, very wrong. But I think there is an inherent racism in the treatment of Shamima Begum.
For joining a terrorist group?
Change the
You absolute
because
joker.
the only way they can legally attempt to justify taking away her British citizenship is because one of her parents was from Bangladesh. It is illegal
and they don't want her either.
To leave somebody stateless. She is our responsibility, our problem, and should be in a British prison.
If she was Swedish or German or American and the same situation was happening, would you call that racist in that?
You wouldn't even hear about the case.
Or is it just because it's Bangladesh?
That wouldn't happen because there's no way we would try and send them to Sweden because they wouldn't accept.
Sorry, this is utter rubbish. Jack Letts, white male, got his British citizenship revoked because he joined ISIS before all of this. So white male happened to him. What are you talking about? It's about racism. Every single person who joined ISIS who has dual citizenship should have it absolutely stripped.
She doesn't have dual citizenship, and it is based on a claim about her parents' birthplace for which she has no connection.
Which obviously the courts think is fair enough. British citizenship is precious. It is a privilege.
It's a right.
It is a privilege.
Not a privilege.
Let me finish. If you want to dilute it by having a dual citizenship and have allegiances to other country, have the privilege of working, voting, living in another country, there is also a cost.
Can I remind you?
And the cost is if you commit serious crime on your bike, goodbye, you lose the privilege of British citizenship.
Can I remind you some of the things Shamima Begum has said since she escaped, so she calls it ISIS? She said that the Manchester Arena bombing was, quote, justified because of the way the West had behaved in the Middle East. She told a BBC reporter that she was attracted to join ISIS initially because of beheading videos. And then she also said that she was over the death of her 3 children. Does that sound like someone you want walking the streets of Britain?
No, there's no question about whether what she did right or wrong. And I'm the only person on this programme who's had an interview with Shamima Begum where she said she regretted the things that she said in the past. But this is a question for a justice system. It's not about whether what she did was right or wrong. It's about the fact that she has a right to British citizenship.
There is no justice because I tell you why there's no justice. Anyone who commits a crime on foreign soil will not get the justice that those poor Yazidi women deserve. They deserve their day in court with her in Syria because the laws in this land will give her a slap on the wrist and let her out in 6 months. So stop talking about justice. There will be no justice for the Yazidi raped girls and the murdered Yazidi boys for Shamima Begum in this country.
The other week you were talking about why you oppose the death penalty and yet you're effectively accepting it for her here. She may well be burned alive in her tent.
That's a reach.
Because there's a serious risk that the place where she is in northern Syria, that she'll be killed alive.
She's fine.
Do you really think that would be an acceptable form of justice? She shouldn't. You sound like ISIS.
Oh my God.
When she joined ISIS, she should reap what she sows. I'm glad that her citizenship has been revoked, quite frankly, and I speak as a person in a similar situation to Shamima Begum. I've got a claim to foreign citizenship. I don't have any problem with people like Shamima Begum never being let in this country.
And do you know what? My biggest concern is...
I thought you were about to say you were a member of ISIS. Actually, do you know what? I have absolutely no confidence that actually British justice would stand up and say this person has time and again said that she does not regret everything that has happened.
And she'll be out on the streets in a couple of weeks if she gets...
I also find it really rich, by the way, that the Labour Party turn around and say, oh, she was only 15. They want to give 16-year-olds the vote.
And Brianna's killers were only 15 and they got sent away quite rightly for life.
My only concern is how many more Shamima Begums are walking the streets of England right now.